book up wide and meet adventures that wait for you. Live and learn and laugh and play whenever your dream comes true. You could swim along the river all the way to the sea. You could fly up in the sky above the clouds and trees. You could plant a flower garden up on top of the moon. You could swing through the jungle all afternoon. Wherever our story takes us, I can't wait to see. Yes, friends, come and read with me. It's online story time.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Online Storytime at your Grand Rapids Area Library. I'm Miss Tracy.
I'm Grandma Pat.
And we're very happy you're with us today. Hey Grandma Pat, before we start talking about that sweet and sticky thing we're going to talk about today, should we sing?
We should sing.
Storytime friends, would you please sing with us? And remember, the song says clap your hands, but you clap wherever you want. Here we go. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, clap your hands. And I really want to hear a story today. Hey, Grandma Pat, what do you want to talk about?
Are you hungry?
Well, I did have a good breakfast, but I could always eat.
Okay, we're going to be talking about some delicious things today that start like that. Does that look like something you'd want to eat? I don't know if I'd want to eat a tree or a bucket or a metal spout. What does it have to do with something to eat? I wonder if it's something that comes out of that tree, drips out of the spout, drip, drip, drip into the bucket. And when you're done, you know what you get? Do you know what you get?
I do.
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup. Storytime friends, this tree is a maple tree. And in the springtime, when it's still cold at night, but it gets warmer during the day, sap starts to run in the maple tree. And if you put a little spigot or a little spout in the tree, that sap will drip into a bucket. And then you boil it and boil it and boil it and get rid of all of the water in it, and you're left with maple syrup. And even though the tree uses that, it has lots of stuff left over and we can use it too.
And this does not hurt the tree at all.
Nope.
Put that spout in there.
But that's how you get real maple syrup, is it comes from trees. Now, we live in a part of the country where there's lots and lots and lots of maple trees around. And so sometimes people can go into their backyard and tap trees, or go to the cabin and tap trees, and they can make their own maple syrup. But some places, they have factories that actually boil down all this syrup to make real maple syrup.
Instead of running into a bucket, they have tubes that run from the tree right into the building.
Yep.
Where they're going to do it.
So they can
Fabulous.
boil it down. So Grandma Pat, do you have any good books about maple syrup?
I've got 2 excellent books about maple syrup.
I can't wait.
Look at this book, Miss Tracy. Doesn't that look good?
It does.
It's called From Maple Tree to Syrup, and it's written by Melanie Mitchell. And these are photographs in here, real things. And it's brought to us from Lerner Publications Company from Minneapolis. And with all nonfiction books, we have a table of contents that tells us exactly what's in the book and what pages we're going to find these things on. For instance, if we just wanted to find out how buckets are emptied, we'd look at 14. The buckets are emptied on page 14. But we're going to read the whole book. Maple syrup is sweet. How is it made? Workers plant trees. Maple syrup comes from sugar maple trees. Workers plant many sugar maple trees for making syrup. This group of trees is called a sugar bush.
And you know, it's interesting because where we live, they don't have to plant the trees. The trees already grow in the forest.
That's exactly right, and there's a lot of sugar bushes around here. I love to say sugar bush. That's one of my favorite terms, sugar bush. Okay. The trees grow. The sugar maple trees grow and make sap. Sap is a clear, sweet liquid. In early spring, the sap flows through the tree's trunks and branches. It's time to collect the sap. Certainly doesn't look like summertime there, it's spring. Workers drill holes. Workers drill small holes in sugar maple trees that are at least 50 years old. Only one hole is drilled in small trees. 2 or 3 holes may be drilled in big trees, and this does not hurt the tree at all. Spouts are put in the holes. Metal spouts are put in the holes in the trees. A spout is a tube that liquid can flow through. But if you look at that, that doesn't look like a metal spout, does it?
No, that was made out of wood.
It's made out of wood. Somebody carved that out of wood. And it works just as well. There's a metal one. Workers hang buckets. Workers hang buckets on the spouts. Sap flows out of the spouts. The buckets collect the sap. And it usually comes out 1 drip at a time. Do you imagine how long that takes to fill up a bucket? The buckets are emptied. Workers empty the buckets full of sap into barrels. The buckets are put back on the spouts to collect more sap. The barrels are taken away. The barrels full of sap are taken to a sugar house. A sugar house is a place where maple syrup is made.
And some people just make it in their backyard.
They do, in little places and outside and inside and everywhere, and they make big batches and little batches. And look at this word over here. What's that word say, Miss? That says pancakes. The sap is heated. Workers pour the sap into long, shallow pans. The pans of sap are heated. The sap begins to boil. It becomes thick and sticky, and it is turned into maple syrup. The maple syrup is poured. The fresh maple syrup is poured into bottles and sent to stores. People buy the syrup and take it home. See, it's a little different color than when it started. It started out, it was all clear. And then when it boils down and gets that water out of it, it becomes that color. Time to eat. It's hard to believe this sweet treat came from a tree. Try some maple syrup on pancakes or ice cream. Enjoy. He's gonna enjoy that. And here's what happened in a nonfiction book. You have the glossary, which tells you what the words mean here. And you have an index, which tells you where to find. If you're looking for eating maple syrup, go to page 22. If you're looking to find maple trees, go to pages 4, 6, 8, 10, and 22, and that tells you everything you need to know about from maple tree to syrup.
Hey, Storytime friends, Grandma Pat, do you want to do a flannel board?
Oh, yes.
And if you look on our board today, we have a frying pan and we are making some pancakes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pancakes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plates. Now, what do pancakes have to do with maple syrup? I think you know. Some of the best pancakes I've ever eaten had maple syrup on top. So let's do a rhyme, and this is called 5 crispy pancakes. And a pancake with crispy edges is my very favorite kind. My grandma used to make me crispy edged pancakes. She would put them in her cast iron skillet and put some Crisco in there, and it would almost be like she'd fry them. Oh my goodness, they were delicious. So here we go. 5 crispy pancakes. 5 crispy pancakes in a frying pan. Flip them and toss them and catch them if you can. Pour on the maple syrup. I've got some syrup right here. And serve them on a plate. These are the best pancakes we have ever ate. Oh, that looks delicious. How many pancakes do we have left in the pan? That's right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 crispy pancakes in a frying pan. Flip them and catch them. Toss them if you can. Pour on the maple syrup and serve them on a plate. These are the best pancakes we have ever ate. 3 crispy pancakes in a frying pan. Flip them and toss them and catch them if you can. Pour on the maple syrup and serve them on a plate. These are the best pancakes we have ever ate. Okay, now we've taken 3 away. We have, how many left? 2 left. If we count the 3 we have taken away, 1, 2, 3, and the 2 left in the pan, 1, 2, we get back up to 5. But because we took 3 away, 5 minus 3 is 2. Here we go. 2 crispy pancakes in a frying pan. Flip them and toss them and catch them if you can. Pour on the maple syrup and put them on a plate. These are the best pancakes we have ever ate. Oh, we've got 1 left. 1 crispy pancake in the frying pan. Flip it and toss it and catch it if you can. Pour on the maple syrup. Serve it on a plate. This is the best pancake I have ever ate. All the crispy pancakes have been eaten by our friends. But wait, I'm hungry. Do we have to cook again? No, silly, I saved some. Wait until you see. A whole pile of pancakes just for you and me. Thanks for playing.
Our second maple syrup book is called Almost Time. And you can see the trees. It's got the buckets on them where the sap is going into the buckets, a drip at a time. And it's written by Gary Schmidt and Elizabeth Stickney. And the pictures are drawn by G. Brian Karras. And it's from Clarion Books, which is from Boston, New York. Houghton Mifflin. Snow. It's almost time. It looks pretty snowy. When Ethan had to eat his pancakes with applesauce instead of maple syrup one Sunday morning, he knew it was almost sugaring time. Is the sap running yet? He asked. Dad shook his head. Not until the days get warmer. That afternoon, Ethan took his sled to the big hill. It was a sunny day, so he left his hat and his scarf and his mittens at home, but the day wasn't warm. It's cold. Next Sunday morning, Ethan's dad made a pan of cornbread. No syrup. Is it time to tap the trees? Ethan asked. When the nights get shorter. Okay, we know two things now. The days have to get warmer and the nights have to get shorter. At bedtime that night, Ethan thought there might be some daylight still coming through the window, but there wasn't enough to find Roosevelt. There's Roosevelt right there. Turn around, Ethan. Next Sunday morning, Ethan stirred raisins and walnuts into his bowl of oatmeal. No syrup. When he bit down on a walnut, he discovered something. My tooth is loose, he said. His father inspected. I expect it will fall out before long. How long? Asked Ethan. About as long as it takes the sap to start running, Dad said. Now, Ethan had two things to wait for. That loose tooth and maple syrup. But the days were still cold and the nights were still long. And his tooth would not come out. The next Sunday morning, Ethan's dad made eggs and toast. Ethan tried not to think about maple syrup in the afternoon when he slid down the big hill, or when he turned on his lamp at night, or when he wiggled his very, very loose tooth during school, until, look, Storytime friends, what happened? Until his dad was waiting when he got off the bus. How's that tooth? He asked. Ethan smiled to show him. So, is the sap going to run now? Asked Ethan. His dad smiled to show him. Look at all the buckets on these sugar maple trees. Every afternoon that week and all day Saturday, Ethan and Dad hauled buckets of sap from the trees and tended the fire beneath the pans. So the shallow pans there, fire, boil the syrup, get that water out of there so there's nothing left but the syrup. As the sap boiled and boiled. See how it's a different color now?
And look at Ethan and his dad giving each other a thumbs up. Things are looking good.
Now they're filling their jars with syrup. And early on Sunday morning, when there was already a little light in the sky, Ethan poured sweet maple syrup on his pancakes. At last.
He waited a long time for those things to happen.
Yeah, here, almost time.
Storytime, friends. Grandma Pat.
Yeah.
Do you want to wave a scarf?
Love scarves.
All right, out of your Storytime kits, I'd like you to find your scarf. I'm going to give Grandma Pat the green one.
Scarf.
And if you don't have a scarf, what could you use? Yeah, a sock, a shirt, a Kleenex, paper towel, washcloth, hand towel. Yeah, anything. You could wave anything. And if you can't find anything to wave, you can just wave along with your hand. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is our scarf warm. Excuse me, I thought I heard something. Hello? Oh, of course. Storytime friends. Giraffe would like to join us today. Hello, Grandma Pat.
Hi there, big guy.
Hello, Storytime friends. Oh, Giraffe, I'm delighted you have joined us. You can sit right there and you can scarf along. All right, friends, now that Giraffe has joined us, let's do our scarf warm-up. Do you remember how it goes? Here we go. My scarf goes up, my scarf goes down, my scarf goes around, 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 around. My scarf goes in, my scarf comes out, my scarf flies about, 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 about. Woo! The woo is my favorite part, just saying. All right, should we do it faster? Here we go. My scarf goes up, my scarf goes down, my scarf goes around, 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 around. My scarf goes in, my scarf comes out, my scarf flies about, 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 about. Woo! Did you woo with me? I hope so, because I love a good woo. All right, our next song is called the Maple Syrup Song. And we are going to make some maple syrup, okay? And we're gonna start with drilling into the tree. Here we go. The drill goes round and round. The drill goes round and round. Into the tree it goes. The drill goes round and round. Now, our tree is tapped. And now the sap is going to drip and drop. Here it goes. The sap, it drips and drops. The sap, it drips and drops. Into the bucket it drops. The sap, it drips and drops. Now, we have to put it on the fire to boil off the water. Here we go. Over the fire it boils. Over the fire it boils. The water leaves when it turns to steam, and over the water it boils. And finally, let's put some syrup on our pancakes. The syrup is nice and sweet. The syrup is nice and sweet. I pour the syrup on my pancakes. The syrup is nice and sweet. So delicious. Hey, thanks for playing. Storytime friends, Grandma Pat, I had such a fun, sticky, deliciously sweet time today. I so enjoyed learning exactly how syrup is made, to going all the way from the tree to the syrup we put on our pancakes. And then in our almost time book, it was so hard for Ethan to wait. But then his tooth fell out and it was time to make maple syrup. And then we counted down our 5 delicious pancakes, and thankfully we had a whole delicious stack for you and I to eat. That was delicious, wasn't it? But now I think it's time to go.
Okay, I guess it is.
Would you sing with us? Here we go. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Yes, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Story time is done today. Now it's time to go and play. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. I'm gonna go hug a maple tree.